Michael O'Connor. Line judges Anthony Valbrun and Thomas McLaughlin. So first set underway. And Princeton with Ben Harrington. You're going to be seeing a lot of him. Leads the team in kills. And a really tough customer gets airborne for the kill. Gavin Leising serving for Princeton. Him, Jamison Vaccaro, Harrington, Simon Shiao, Harry Wedbush, Tristan Whitfield, as well as Matt Sue, and Ireo Omene in the lineup, and the block gets Princeton up 2-0. Valerie, one of this Princeton team's just they serve about as well as anybody in the nation. Looking forward to seeing how that plays out tonight. Serve from Leising. McDonald upstairs. And that's clean. That's a kill. Liam French from the far pin. So French serving here for George Mason. Big win over UC Irvine early in the season. It was ranked number 3 at the time. Big block for the Tigers. It's a Princeton point for Wedbush. So 3-1 start for Princeton. So they're going to replay the point here. That's why they shut it down. There's a bit of confusion there. We don't have the ability for instant replay here, so you do factor that in. So they're going to replay that point. Stays 2-1. Whitfield a bit of a mishit that time, and George Mason cashes in on the extra opportunity. Service error on the Patriots, and Princeton takes it back up 3-2. So Harry Wedbush serving here for Princeton, junior from Manhattan Beach, California. EIVA second teamer last year. Overpass came from the libero. Bashinsky, and Princeton a 4-2 start. Block was there from Whitfield and Omene. Changed them again, this time a little trouble gathering. Omene. And Mason gets the point. Omar Hoyos, leading scorer last year, up near the top this year, an outside hitter from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Senior Sam Peters serves it in. Omene got blocked, and George Mason the point. Teams trading points early in this one. Up high, Harrington drops it in. There's an excellent pancake dig to lead to that. Zaharev, and it looks like the point was lost. Gets down for it. Harrington that time, no one was stopping him. We're tied at 5. 10 points in, Valerie. What's standing out to you?
I think the Tigers' offense, I mean, when they get a perfect pass, it's almost impossible to stop them. So I think if they can pass efficiently and effectively and keep that passing consistent throughout the match, they should come home with a sweep.
Harrington, some help from the tape and an overpass. Omene. Well, Princeton pulls ahead 6-5. A lot of strengths to Harrington's name, but someone who's a terrific server. Jay Hosak says he's the best, if he's one of the best, if not the best servers in the nation. High praise from the George Mason coach. Shows it there with the ace. Long that time. George Mason will take over, down a point.
McDonald back to serve next.
Troy McDonald running start. Whitfield stuffed. So Jason Ashenfelter, senior opposite at 6'6", standing there in the middle, getting it done. McDonald again. Miscommunication up front, and Princeton says thank you very much.
And that was a really athletic play by Wedbush there. I mean, he jumps as high as he can to keep that ball from going over the plane of the net and setting up Whitfield for the hit. Even though there was a little miscommunication on that side, it's still a great play.
Whitfield serving here. And this time, Mason's able to drop it in. We're tied at 8. Bashinsky, the libero for George Mason. For Princeton, it's Matt Sue. Omar Hoyos. Mene calls for it and sets it up. Tough spot for Jamison Vaccaro to go up in there, and George Mason gets it back up 9-8. Go back for Vaccaro. So 10-8, George Mason. It's the 5th error for Princeton so far. George Mason with just 1 attack error here in the early going. Took something off that, but Sue was ready. Vaccaro. Princeton takes the point. Liam French could not regain control.
Back to serve next.
Nero Omene named to EIVA's player to watch coming into the year. One of the top scorers on this team. French blocked. Harrington with the Princeton kill. And Harrington, a fun player to watch. That's his 3rd kill so far. Sue the dig. Omene, the kill.
Almeida back to serve again.
So 3 straight points for Princeton. See if they can extend this run. And that went wide. Tigers get the point. Zaharev could not hit the spot. And George Mason will try and talk things over. Jay Hosack brings his team to the side. H1 takes timeout. Valerie, what do you think they're thinking on that Patriots sideline, how they regroup?
I think it comes down to serve receive. I mean, they haven't really been passing the best balls, which make it so really easy for Princeton to get digs, as we're seeing right now. So I think maybe taking smarter shots and really taking an advantage of the easier serves can help them.
Well, they get the point off the break. Troy McDonald with the sizzler that gets tipped.
Ashenfelter serve next.
So Jason Ashenfelter out of Redondo Beach, California. That was Zaharev, not McDonald, my mistake there. And Princeton the point, courtesy of Leising. Tigers 12 away from set 1 as Coach Sam Schweisky coming out to give instructions to his libero, Matt Sue. Serve from Jamison Vaccaro. Wedbush. Aggressive play from the setter, Harry Wedbush, for the point.
And that's exactly what I was talking about last time. I mean, having an overpass that gives Princeton basically a free point to get a kill.
Vaccaro here. And Harrington was gifted that. He'll pad his stats and put his team up 4. 4 kills for Harrington, 4-point lead for the Tigers.
Vaccaro to serve again.
Vaccaro, one of the freshmen, part of this top 10 class nationally coming in. George Mason with the kill from Sam Peters.
Point Patriots.
So side out for them. Let's see what Zaharev has in store. Wedbush. Leising off the back set, could not hit the spot.
Point Patriots. Zaharev back to serve again.
Georgie Zaharev. Short on the serve.
Point Tigers. Leising back to serve.
Mentioned a little while ago that Princeton had 5 early errors. They've only had 1 since then. Get the big block there. Whitfield and company pumped up.
Tigers. Leising back to serve again.
Leising. French was stuffed. The freshman Whitfield having a good first set.
Leising to serve again.
George Mason led it 10-8. Since then, Princeton has gone on a 10-3 run to take control of this opening set. McDonald the set, and French the point.
A kick for French. Point Patriots. And French will serve next.
Liam French, 3.54 points per set to lead his team out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Redshirt sophomore for George Mason. Wedbush for Whitfield. Excellent swing.
Point Patriots. French back to serve again.
2 points in a row for George Mason here. Cut it to 3. That goes long, and the Tigers will regain control.
Wedbush back to serve.
Harry Wedbush. And George Mason gifted the service error. Patriots will send on 2. Paul Russell checks in. And they set Ashenfelter back in as well. Here is Russell, the junior from Ellicott City, Maryland. Wedbush underneath it. Harrington. They knew where to be. That was well rehearsed and well executed.
Harrington back to serve next.
So 5 points for Princeton here to close this out. Valerie, what do they have to do to finish this first set off?
Honestly, at this point, keep it consistent. I mean, we haven't seen them go on a stretch of hitting errors like we did in the beginning of this set. So I think if they keep that consistency going, it should be relatively easy to close it out.
First really long rally we've had of this set. And Harrington was having none of it. Ben Harrington, another kill, his 6th of the opening set.
Harrington to serve next.
Got 6 kills on 8 swings. Harrington. And it was touched by Wedbush. And George Mason and Hoyos, the point.
McDonald back to serve next.
Serve from McDonald. Vaccaro with the finesse, point still going. Omene wants it. Few good stands for the Patriots defensively, but ultimately Hoyos could not get it over on that 3rd attempt.
Whitfield back to serve next.
Three points from taking the first set for the Princeton Tigers. Here's Whitfield. Vaccaro puts him 2 away.
That was an incredible job by Vaccaro there. I mean, he was all the way, it seemed like he was on the inside of that block and still tooled that outside hand.
And that was just teed up for Ashenfelter. George Mason will have to get on the comeback trail quickly here in this first set. Hoyos leads the way for them with 5 kills so far. He serves it here. Omene, X marks the spot, set point.
Omene back to serve next.
George Mason in a tough spot. They're going to have to win at least 6 in a row here. An ace to close the set. Nero Omene puts Princeton up 1-0. They take the first set over George Mason. Sides will switch. Gavin Leising will tee us off. Off the back set. And the Tigers will not have the first point. It is George Mason who gets it done. Omar Hoyos, a factor over there at that pin. Here is Hoyos. Go back to Harrington. He had a big first set. He's off to a nice start here in set 2. 6 kills in the first. There's 7 for him on 9 swings so far. Henry Wedbush. Hoyos for George Mason. Seeing Colin Heath there as part of that contingent up front for the Patriots. You didn't see him in set 1. Senior outside hitter from Winnetka, Illinois. Overpass. Sam Peters takes care of it. So Wedbush is over there talking to Kevin Ball, the official. I think he wanted clarity on something. Ashenfelter gets back into gear. Omene blocked. Went off the head of Whitfield. And George Mason's got a point. On the carom, Tristan Whitfield felt that on the noggin. Whitfield gets revenge, the point for Princeton.
Back to the service line.
French off the back set for George Mason. They're off to a nice start in set 2.
And French to serve next.
First set went 25-18 Princeton, but George Mason in a good spot to begin set 2. And that's a Princeton point. Heath denied despite the nifty dig from Troy McDonald.
Whitfield to serve next.
Here's Whitfield. McDonald up high for French. Princeton point.
Whitfield to serve again.
Whitfield just misfires.
Heath to serve next.
Omene going cross court for the kill.
Point Tigers. Omena back to serve next.
Here's Omene. Wide.
Serve goes out of bounds. Point Patriots. Pierce to serve next.
So now 4 service errors for Princeton, 3 for George Mason so far.
The attack goes
And
out
a
of
whistle.
bounds. Point Tigers.
Omene, or rather, Hoyos.
Vaccaro to serve next.
So it's 7-6 after the error on Hoyos. Vaccaro.
Swing
It's
goes
another
out of bounds.
Princeton point.
Tigers. Vaccaro to serve again.
So you mentioned, Valerie, at the start of this set, just that the passing, you kept saying, George Mason, the passing hadn't been there. Do you feel like the passing's gotten a little better this set, or are they still having some of those issues?
I do believe the passing has gotten better, but at the same time, Princeton has made a couple more service errors that they weren't making in the first set. So I feel like that can instill confidence in the passing, and we're seeing a lot more kills from their side. But across the board, we are seeing some errors, so it's tough to make a complete analysis as of now.
Yeah, we'll keep tabs on that for sure. Wedbush made it too easy that time for Lysing.
Point Tigers.
8-8.
And Lysing will serve next for the Tigers.
French got up high, but not high enough. Wedbush, the block.
Lysing returns to the serve line.
Lysing here. That went a little long.
Point Patriots. Hoyos back to serve next.
So Omar Hoyos. Whitfield the kill, and Princeton up 10-9.
Tigers. Wedbush to serve.
George Mason this set. 5 errors, 3 kills.
Service error.
That's exactly how they're keeping afloat right now. Princeton's not been able to get the serves in at a high clip. Having said that, the attack for George Mason leaving a little bit desired right now. Heath.
Net violation.
And the call, blocking error, net violation. 11-10, George Mason in front. Wedbush, the set. Try Heath. Not there.
A block for Harrington. Point Tigers. Harrington will serve next.
There's Sam Schweisky chatting it up with his guys. Him and his counterpart, Jay Hosack, really close relationship. And Harrington here.
The serve goes wide. Point Patriots.
So we're seeing a common theme. That is the 6th service error for the Tigers in this set. Meaning half of George Mason's points, they have not had to return a serve. Give it and take it. 12-12. See what Whitfield does here. And that gets through. The point for Troy McDonald.
Heath back to serve.
Colin Heath. Easy doings for Lysing. So the first 26 points of this set have been split right down the middle.
Yeah, we haven't really seen much rallies come of this set so far.
There's really none I can think of. Like, that was a really nice rally. You haven't had that. Service errors galore and
Service error.
well timed, I guess. 14-13, George Mason.
Russell to serve.
Kind of a matter of like which team is going to figure it out enough down the stretch here, it seems.
The serve falls in the net. Point Tigers. Vaccaro to serve next.
So George Mason with 3 service errors this set. Princeton with 7. Hands of Harrington were ready. See which way they go. Mene. And the net violation will give the point to Princeton. They hit the 15 mark first. Vaccaro. The fortuitous bounce for the ace. Tigers really needed that one. Timeout, George Mason, 16-14. In set 2, Princeton in front by 2. We'll come back. And Princeton the point, 17-14. Tigers starting to pull away a little bit. George Mason took the timeout, and we'll see if Princeton can build up a 2-0 lead here. McDonald nods his head. He gets the set. And the net violation will give it to George Mason. Omar Oyos queued that up. Troy McDonald. So all of a sudden, George Mason back within 1. Omene wasn't sure to let it go or go for it. And the ace is George Mason's first of the night. Wedbush for Harrington, the no look. Try him again. Works out this time. Here's Gavin Lysing. It's been a familiar theme this set for the Tigers. 8th service error of the second set. Hoyos. Wedbush for Harrington. Blocked out of bounds. The Tigers get the point. They're 6 away from claiming set 2. Wedbush takes a moment. When you're going through a funk like that as a team, just in terms of the serve game, Valerie, like, what do you find like ends up being the way you kind of snap out of that? It's easier said than done, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think someone just needs to grab the team and say, hey, let's get it in. But I think it's unfortunate because in men's volleyball, if you give them a really easy one, it's an automatic kill. So.
Big block from NA. Maybe that'll jumpstart Princeton as they try to get to the finish line of this set. He blocks Liam French.
And Harrington back to serve.
Ben Harrington, a lot of strengths to his game, but his serving near the top. That time it's an ace. Heath was unable to handle it. George Mason will take its last time out of the set. Jay Hosak's team go back to Ben Harrington on serve. Hails from Glen Ellyn, Illinois. Single match record 13 aces against Queens to start off the year. French with the rescue. Vaccaro the kill.
Harrington returns to the service line.
3 straight points for Princeton. They took the first set 25-18. They get these last 3 unanswered here to get the same score this time. That goes long. It's another Tigers point. Hoyos could not find the target. George Mason playing back, preparing for the Ben Harrington serve. Hoyos gets it done. It did not come easily. But George Mason, the point. And they turn the serve back over to Liam French.
French back to serve.
Princeton this set hitting 444. So they're hitting at a very high clip. It's just come down to getting serves in or not. Wedbush. Omene, the kill. That percentage is going to go up. And now it is set point for set number 2. George Mason (14 errors, 16 kills so far. They're going to kill there, keep him alive. Sam Peters.
Heath to serve next.
So with their backs against the wall, they turn to Heath. Princeton set 2 on the service error. They get it done. The Tigers take it 25-20. And now we go to set 3. Princeton in the driver's seat here at home. Coming back on ESPN+.
It's about getting a team off balance. So I think if they can do that and serve a little bit more aggressive, they could win the set.
Well, that's a nice start for them. Angle for McDonald on the serve to get the ace. That's George Mason's second. The size disparity, it is noticeable. Like they're Princeton's got a lot of size up front. George Mason trying to counteract that. McDonald again. Off the miss, or no, he got it. So Harrington hits, it's 1-1.
Live from the service line.
Gavin Lising, one of those guys, large stature, 6'9", senior, Newhall, California. Tipped up front, and it's a George Mason point.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Picking off the top and the side of the block can allow George Mason to be successful in certain areas of the game.
Off of Oyo's serve, Harrington gets the overpass coming back for Princeton. Where will they go? 11 kills for Ben Harrington. Only player in double figures on either side.
White push to serve next.
Here's Henry Wedbush. He takes a breath and takes his approach. That's an ace.
Point Tigers. Wedbush returns to the service line.
Fifth ace for Princeton. Last set they had 9 service errors. Mene on the block. Shinsky set that up, but there's Whitfield to put it away.
And that's another thing I was talking about. I mean, it's really hard to get around a big block like that.
Whitfield with 7 block assists to lead the way tonight for Princeton. Mene takes it, scores it. Princeton trying to sweep George Mason. Put themselves in a really good spot. George Mason trying to regain some of that confidence. Heath denied. Tipped, and that's a point. We didn't see Jackson Herbert in the first 2 sets, but somebody, when speaking with Jay Hosack, he was really high on. Freshman from Ashburn, Virginia. Plays U21 Beach National Team volleyball, so we'll see what he can bring to the table here in the third. So George Mason blocks Harrington. I think they're going to credit Heath and Peters on that. Sue the dig. Whitfield the point.
Harrington back to serve next.
Heath, he hits the line.
A kill for Heath. Point Patriots. Herbert back to serve next.
Wedbush, the nice adjustment.
The ball goes out of bounds. Blue Tigers.
So Princeton the point. And a 7-5 lead here as we move along in set 3. Seven, 6. Teams trading points early in the third. Seen that for much of this. Nobody's really distanced themselves too early in the set. Mene really put a lot on that one. Net violation, Omene. Point, George Mason. That was a nice rally. Georgi Zaharev was able to make a few impressive plays near the George Mason bench. Long.
Serve goes long. Point Tigers. Omena to the serve side.
Here's Nero Omene. Wedbush slips up, and he needs a moment. He's just stretching out for a minute. Wet spot on the floor after he fell down. And when this clears up, we have an 8-8 score, set 3. Set 1 went 25-18, set 2, 25-20. As Henry Wedbush good to go. Vaccaro gets it through. Hoyos, the point. And George Mason showing some fire there. Feels like starting to click here. Still opportunity right there in front of them. Princeton has the point.
Point Tigers. Vaccaro back to serve next.
And off Omene, the point for Jackson Herbert. We're starting to see the level of play pick up on both sides, it seems, Valerie.
Yeah, I think George Mason, they're really extending rallies and playing super gritty right now.
Zaharev to serve next.
Zaharev. Harrington, the point for Princeton, 10-10.
Point Tigers.
Lysing. Vaccaro, the point is set up from Wedbush. Princeton in front.
Lysing returns to the service line.
Herbert, he missed wide.
Goes out of bounds. Point Tigers. Lysing to the service line again.
And George Mason wants a timeout. Jay Hosack brings his team over.
Lead 12 to 10 in
And we're going to step aside. Sam Cooperman, Valerie Nudicor with you from the Dillon Gymnasium. And a bit of a discombobulated sequence for George Mason. After the Patriots took a timeout,
Lysing to the service
they
line
come out
again.
and are unable to get the point. And now Princeton's 12 away from the sweep. No look from Harrington. It's a point.
Point Tigers. Lysing to the service line again.
So here's a look at Jay Hosack, 9th year at the helm of the program. Previously an assistant at Penn State. U.S. men's junior national team coach since 2015. Looking on, trying to see if his team can make a run here, but running short on points. Wedbush with some finesse.
Tigers. Lysing to serve again.
Ten points to go for Princeton.
A kill off the hands for Hoyos.
Omar Hoyos has led the way for George Mason tonight. His 11th kill. That was his 30th swing. He's been very active. Hoyos will serve it here. Harrington. Sue sets it up. Wedbush for Omene, blocked. Heath pumped up. He gets the point for George Mason.
Serve
Eamon
again.
Testerman seeing some time up front for George Mason. We had not seen him till this point. Throwing some different looks out here, trying to get back into this match. Sue for Harrington. Whitfield overpowers him up front.
Point Patriots. Hoyos back to serve next.
So George Mason awarded the point. That makes it 15-13. Wedbush wanted an explanation, but Sam Schweisky pulls him back, says you're good. And Hoyos will continue to serve here. George Mason again. Patriots pulled it within one.
Point Patriots. Hoyos back to serve again.
So they've won 2 straight. Sorry, beg your pardon. They've won 4 straight. And Hoyos here. Harrington unable to stop the bleeding. 15 aside. See if Princeton takes a timeout. Largest run for George Mason of the night. I think it might be all together. Any team winning 5 consecutive points. Certainly this set. Hoyos. Ace.
Yeah, and I gotta give credit where it's due. Hoyos is really...
We'll see how the Tigers' upcoming schedule pans out. Get a little bit of a layoff, but got some travel to do. Out to Loyola, another tough opponent, before they come back to Jersey and then get FDU and NJIT. A couple shorter road trips. Tigers, off their first time out of the night, get a point. Omene ties us up at 16. Hasn't been the cleanest game from either side. Princeton for the night hitting 275. George Mason 135. Tigers with 11 service errors, 9 of them in the second set. George Mason back in front. St. Jackson Herbert in his first set that they've put him in for. He's got 5 kills this frame. Eamon Testerman, redshirt senior from Mission Viejo, California. Omene blocked. George Mason starting to feel a little momentum, at least in this third set. Shoe tying break for Jamison Vaccaro. And we're good. Whitfield blocked, out of bounds. So Peters was unable to direct that in. That's an ace. Ben Harrington. He closed out the second set with a nice run on serve. See if he can do that to close out the night. Each team still with 1 timeout this set. Ace. Harrington piling them up. That is his 4th. And Jay Hosack wants his team to get its breath, figuring out a way to limit the serve FDU. After that, EIVA action rolling along here. Another tough serve from Ben Harrington, but George Mason eventually able to recover. Vaccaro shuts the point down. Now they correct it. So George Mason ties it at 19. That was a stretch of 3 consecutive points for Princeton. That comes to an end. Long on the serve. So Herbert couldn't connect. Princeton hits 20 before George Mason. And Valerie, coming down to the end of a set like this, obviously, you know, both teams in different spots. What's the mental aspect like of it when you're on the court in this spot?
I think there are a lot of nerves, but then at the same time, there's a lot of adrenaline. I mean, they're finally playing, and they're playing some pretty clean volleyball. And so I think they're having a lot of fun right now, not thinking too much and just going for it.
Hoyos with the kill there. He's paved the way for George Mason. Leading scorer tonight. That was his 12th kill. Harrington hits the spot. 14 kills And Harrington, a massive night. Miro Omene. Wedbush. 3 to go for Princeton. George Mason out of timeouts. Tigers still have 1 should they need. Omene. That's long. Was it touched? It was not. Nero Omene. Try and close this out. Long serve going back the other way. First service error of the set for Princeton. They've been serving cleanly in set 3. Paul Russell here. That's wide. And Princeton, match point. Jamison Vaccaro, the freshman from San Diego, California, will try and make it a clean sweep tonight for Princeton. Hoyos is blocked. He'll try him again. Gets right to Vaccaro. And George Mason at least get to serve it here in these pressure-filled moments. Georgi Zaharov called into action. That hits. We're not done yet. Hoyos. And Sam Schweisky will take that timeout here. Yeah, for George Mason. You get the point here and then, well, win by 2 the rest of the way out. You don't, it's over. It's over. Service error. Tigers survive in the 3rd and get the sweep over George Mason. Princeton wins it 25-18, 25-20, 25-23. Valerie, your thoughts on how this all panned out tonight?
I mean, we didn't get to see that much clean volleyball, especially in the second set, but overall I think it came down to Princeton being the more